Hello, Planeswalkers! Andrew here, bringing you another episode of my Variety Hour, where I just do random stuff, whatever I feel like. As Tyler has already announced on one of his Monday videos, next month, the month of December, we're going to be trying out live streaming, and this is not just going to be Magic stuff, it's going to be, we're going to play some video games as well, but on the subject of Magic stuff, one of the things I wanted to do was brew decks on stream and take suggestions from my audience. So I wanted to kind of do a little test run of that. So I have two decks here that are mostly built in paper, but they're not finished. These are Omnath, Locus of Creation, and Breya, Ethereum Shaper. And I just wanted to finish brewing these decks for today's video, just to give kind of an idea of what I want to do next month. Although for the live streams, I will be brewing decks from start to finish, rather than starting partway through. But this way, I can get these two decks brewed, and I can get some content for Monday video. So it's a win-win. So starting with Breya, I need to put the cards that I do have into the list. For both these decks, I haven't really focused on building them. It's been a little over a month since I've focused on a deck, which is quite clear by the fact that I haven't finished brewing them. But I've just been kind of collecting cards that I think would go in these decks and do well in them. So for Breya, I'm going to start off with Kodotha, Forge Master, which lets me sacrifice 3 artifacts, search my library for an artifact card, and put it onto the battlefield. This is one card that makes use of token artifacts that we'll be making in this Breya deck. So like treasures and... do I make any gold? It's definitely treasures and thopters are in here. We have Sculpting Steel, which can enter as a copy of any artifact on the field, not just yours. So you can take someone else's artifacts if you really want to. We have Mirror Works. Whenever a non-token artifact enters under my control, I can pay 2 to copy it. It just occurred to me that I should probably talk about what Breya does. She enters with 2 1/1 Thopters. You can pay 2 to sacrifice 2 artifacts to either lightning bolt something, or give a creature -4/-4 for the turn, or gain 5 life. So pretty versatile, but you need a lot of artifacts to fuel this effect, because part of the cost is sacking 2. So we'll be getting to the token making cards later on here. We have Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. Stuff I cast has affinity for artifacts. Which I actually forget what that does. What does affinity do? Affinity for artifacts. Affinity for artifacts. That reduces the mana cost of the spell by the number of permanents of a certain type. Okay. Okay. That's actually really cool. So, with affinity for artifacts, with how many artifacts I make, I could essentially reduce the cost of all of my creatures and planeswalkers down to just their colored pips, because I don't believe affinity affects those. So Goblin Welder. This lets you swap an artifact, any artifact on the field, with any artifact in the same player's graveyard. You're just dumping that into the grave and grabbing an artifact from their grave, putting it onto the field. I have Clearwater Pathway, self-explanatory. Treasure Mage searches you an artifact. Steel Overseer puts counters on your artifact creatures. Shimmer Mirror, very Excuse me, I'm sorry. Shimmy Mirror, very important for granting flash. Actually don't know if I'm going to keep Locus. We'll see. Just because he cares. Well, yeah, he's a big mana dork. So I guess he is good. He is just good. Dockside Extortionist. Makes treasure tokens. Ethereum Sculptor. Makes artifact spells cost 1 less. Herald of Kozilek. Colorless spells I cast cost 1 less. So it's slightly better Ethereum Sculptor. Well, it's different Ethereum Sculptor, because I guess there are artifacts that are colored that Ethereum Sculptor reduces the cost of, and there are non-artifacts that are colorless that Herald of Kozilek affects. Tribute Mage. Another one that searches you an artifact. Talisman of Creativity. So, I apologize for my voice. It's allergies. It's not any kind of illness. It's just my fall winter allergies. I have allergies year round. It's fun. We have Savai Crystal. Skull Clamp is great for our 1/1 Thopters for getting some card draw. Firemind Vessel is one of my favorite mana rocks. Time Sieve. Sack 5 artifacts, take an extra turn. I doubt that's going to stay on the board for very long. Sword of the Meek. This is a part of a combo. What is the Sword of the Meek combo? I better make sure I know what it is. Okay. I think I have both of these cards now. I'll see when I have a stack of the cards here. I'll see if I get to Thopter Foundry. I think I have a copy. Cranial Plating. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact, and it can equip for either 1 at sorcery speed or black at instant speed. That is what that means. It is the rare artifact that allows you to equip at instant speed. Spellbomb. Sacrifice it, exile all cards from target player's graveyard, and when it is put into a grave from the battlefield, you can pay black and draw a card. So basically it's tap it, pay a black, exile a graveyard, and draw a card. I like Graveyard Hate for the Reanimator decks, because those are annoying to deal with. Burnished Heart grabs you basics, pretty good. Alloy Mirror, it's a Wooburg Mana Dork. Chromatic Lantern. I feel like Chromatic Lantern should be in every single deck that is 3 or more colors. 2 colors, it's not worth it, but 3 or more, you absolutely need that, because it's pretty common to just, in my experience, it's pretty common to just end up with 2 of your 3 colors, or 2 or 3 of your 4 colors, and then you have like several cards in your hand that require that last color that you don't have. And you can ratio the lands perfectly fine, but if it's shuffled weird, and you could just get screwed by not having the right colors. Not even just not having enough mana, you could have the right amount, but the wrong colors. The Chromatic Lantern, very good to have, should be in every 3 or 4 or 5 color deck. I do have Chromatic Orrery. I pulled 2 of these with my M21 packs. Very lucky. Lets you spend mana as though it were any color mana. It's different from Chromatic Lantern's effect, but it essentially does the same thing. And it's a mana rock for 5 mana that you can spend as if it were any color. It's great, and you can draw a card for each color for 5 mana. So, yeah. If you, in this deck, the best that's going to do is 5 mana draw 4 cards, which isn't bad. It's just there if I need it, I guess. So, Dolmen Gate. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Here we go, I do have Thopter Foundry. I should read the combo. Or I could just look at the cards. So, Thopter Foundry, 1, sack a non-token artifact, make a blue Thopter. Flying, you gain 1 life. Whenever a 1/1 creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can return Sword of the Meek from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ah, I see. So, I don't know where you're getting the mana from, but what it looks like is you pay 1, sack Sword of the Meek, make a 1/1, the 1/1 enters, recurs Sword of the Meek, and you can do it again. So Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry makes at least as many Thopters as you have mana for it. Probably want to look into an infinite mana combo. I think I can do that with Pili Pala and Grand Architect. If I don't already have them in this list, then we can get those. Solring. This is a swamp. But the swamp that I'm looking at is a proxy by Sheepwave. We've talked about her before on the show. Go check her out. She does incredible, just actually incredible proxies and art in general. That's Sheepwave on Twitter. Any more basics I want to get out of the way. Okay, so obviously I'm not just going to have 2 swamps, but for now that's all I have in here. And we can add more later. I have the Proxy Swamp, and I have the Art Card Swamp from Zendikar Rising. Or no, this is Murkwater Pathway as an art card. But I'm using it as a swamp. Because art cards, you can do what you want with them. You can... Hey, Rule 0. If your playgroup is okay with it, you can run any card as any card. Within reason. As long as your playgroup's cool with it. You could run a Pokemon card as a Magic card, if you really wanted to. We have Plains. We have an Island. We have a Mountain, which is also another proxy. This one is by Bento Box Proxies. He gifted Tyler and I one each of his Synthwave Mountains. Because he's a cool dude. Check him out on Twitter too. He's as of this recording, well, I guess this video is coming out a day after I'm recording it. As of now, he only has Mountains and Plains done, but he will be doing all 5 and I think Wastes as well in the Synthwave art. And it's just, it kicks ass. Check him out. Saheeli, turn your artifacts into other artifacts. I need some water. Ooh, Karn Liberated. This is a good one that benefits greatly from Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. Because if we have 7 artifacts on the field, Karn is free. Karn is just free. Open the vaults. Return all artifacts and enchantments from all graveyards to the battlefield under their owner's control. It's pretty good. Now this next card is an art card from Sheepwave, and it's textless. It's the kind that is just an art card that you can legally sell because it has no magic text on it, but it's meant to represent a magic card. So bear with me for a moment. Let's see. What is this supposed to be? this Anguished Unmaking? Fabricate! It's Fabricate. It's Fabricate. Yeah! Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Sweet. Diabolic Tutor. Tyler and I have yet to get our box of Commander Legends, but I'm looking to get me that Vampiric Tutor reprint. That and Mana Drain. Dude. Those reprints are sick. We also have a video that Michael and I did, our friend Michael, also on Twitter. Me and Michael recorded a video going over the set Commander Legends. That's scheduled to come out a week after the set does. But it was recorded around the start of the month when spoiler season was wrapping up. So that's going to be a little bit of a disconnect there. But since most of the set was spoiled by then, you will get our up-to-date thoughts on the vast majority of the set. This is a really fun set that just came out. Well, that's about to come out. I guess pre-release is done. It's out. It's in the wild. Dance of the Mance. Return up to X target artifacts and or non-aura enchantments. Convert a mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents are 4/4 creatures, in addition to their other types. Pretty neat. Treasure. This lets you swap an artifact on your board with one in your grave. But it's worse than Goblin Welder because it's an additional cost is to sacrifice an artifact. So if this card gets countered, you still have to sack an artifact, which sucks, but you know. Acquire is one of my favorite cards since I learned of it. Search target opponent's library for an artifact card and put it into play under your control. This is mine now. Ownership is such a gray area. The version that I have, this is an older version of it, but it's sometimes innovation means stealing another secret before anyone else can. It's just thievery, but you're labeling it differently. So, stolen identity. Create a token that's a copy of artifact creature. What does Cipher do? Then you may exile this spell card encoded on a creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player's controller, may cast a copy. Oh, that's interesting. So you can exile this card after you cast it and slap it onto the field, or slap it onto a creature. Whenever that creature hits someone, you can make another copy of something. That's cool. Phyrexian Rebirth. Destroy all creatures, then put it... Okay, so you make a biggin after wiping the board. And Tower. Classic. Reliquary Tower. Easiest way to remove your hand limit. Darksteel Citadel. Because of course, we are running the artifact lands. We're also running Limber Void. If you control no artifact, sack it, but it comes in untapped and taps for any color. So I'll Triumph. Ancient Den. I think I got all 5 of these that I can run. Great Furnace. Yes. Vault of Whispers. We have Ugin. Another one that Tezzeret can make free if I have enough artifacts. And your Battle Sphere, which makes some mirrors. It's another token outlet. We have Padim, Console of Innovation. Artifacts I control, I have Hexproof. And if I control the artifact with the highest CMC, Tide, I draw a card. Some card advantage. Steel. Artifact creatures I control get +2/+2. Is that supposed to be... What the hell is that supposed to be? I don't know, that creature looks weird. That machine looks weird. Dovin's Veto. Dovin's Bond. Spark. It's a good removal. Spell Swindle. Do you want to counter a spell and also get a bunch of treasures? Then this is your thing. Yeah, this is your card. Archmage's Charm. Does a bunch of stuff. Counters a spell, draws 2 cards, or gains you control of a non-land permanent with CMC 1 or less. This can steal a Soul Ring, which is incredibly mean, but very funny. Dispatch. Wow, 2 of these cards are silver bordered. But no, we want just regular old Dispatch. Tap target creature, draw 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. So, in most cases in this deck, this is just a path to exile. It's great. Except you're not giving your opponent anything. You're just exiling a thing. Oh, I have proxies of the fetch lands that I don't remember what they're called. Call me a cheater for having proxied fetch lands, but I do not care. My playgroup doesn't mind, so I don't care. So we have the Rakdos and Orzhov ones. Rakdos is Bloodstained Mire. And Orzhov is Marsh Flats. Yes. We also have Emery, Lurker of the Lock. She's cheaper for each artifact I control. So she basically has affinity for artifacts already. When she enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of my library into my grave, and I can grab an artifact from my grave and cast it this turn. Phyrexian Metamorph, it has Phyrexian Mana, which was a broken mechanic, so they stopped doing it. And also Phyrexians haven't been in the story. You can have it enter as a copy of any artifact or creature on the battlefield. Pretty nice. With Tezzeret out, this becomes a 2-life creature. 2-life copying a creature. Because you wouldn't have to pay the mana, and you could pay 2 life for the blue mana. Chief of the Foundry. Artifacts you control get +1/+1. Artifact creatures. Leonin Ebunis. I don't know what that word means, but it sounds funny to me. Artifacts I control of hexproof. Very nice. Brutaclad. I love Brutaclad. Just a cool visual design. Creature tokens I control of haste. Beginning of combat of my turn, I create a 2/1 mirror. Then I may choose a token I control. If I do, each other token I control becomes a copy of it. It's so cool. We have Sharoom. I can return target artifact from my grave to the battlefield. Arkham Dagson. Target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. A player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card. Yeah. Okay. So we're mainly going to be using this ourselves, because you can sack your own, like, Thopter, just any artifact creature, and just go grab a non-creature artifact from the library. Joyra, Weatherlight Captain, makes me draw cards whenever I play a historic spell. Pitiless Plunderer. Whenever another creature I control dies, I make a treasure token. Master Transmuter. Returns an artifact I control to its owner's hand. I can put an artifact from my hand onto the battlefield. So she swaps things from my hand with things on the board. So that's all that I have planned out already. We probably want, I'm going to say another 20 lands. That sounds right, 37 lands. which means we have room for about 5 more cards, besides the lands. And I want things that make more tokens. Oh yeah, I have a copy of Skyclave Relic. I just need to borrow it for this deck. So, there we go. We have 4 left. Oh, I need Hull Breacher. Oh. Oh, Commander Legends isn't on Cockatrice yet. Damn. Oh well, so we're gonna go Lithoform Engine. And I don't have a copy yet, so that's going on the sideboard. We're gonna say we grab Hull Breacher. Yeah. So, I can't make a custom card very easily. We want Smothering Tithe. I do have a copy. Smothering Tithe. So we can grab 1 more card, and that'll be it. Ooh, Psy Master Thopterus might be good. Yeah, I'm thinking Psy Master Thopterus. But I don't have a copy yet. I am going to take a quick break. I will be right back. It'll be like a split second for you because of editing. Be right back. And we're back. So the last thing we need to do for Breya is finish off the lands. So let's skip ahead to utility lands. Probably want Inventor's Fair, honestly. Yeah, that alone is really good. So Inventor's Fair. Hold on. So we want 20 more lands. Sideboard's at 3. So when the sideboard's at 23, we'll be done. I know I have these Thriving lands. So Thriving. One, 2, 3, 4. So what's that? This is 19. I'm trying to count the cards that I'm not getting yet, that I don't have yet. Academy of Ruins. We do have Temple of the False God. Temple of the False God. Yeah, so we have 13 left. Do we want Arcane Signet? Could do Mana Crypt. I have a proxy of Mana Crypt, but I don't think I'm gonna. I could do Exotic Orchard. Let's do Exotic Orchard. Cool, so 12 left. I don't really feel like getting them. I think we're just gonna do the rest as flippin' basics. So 12 left. So let's see. Send deck to, let's Okay, tapped out. It's not gonna work. Send a deck. Deck stats. Okay. We go to details. This is going to tell us mana distribution. This is what we really want to worry about. So we already have 2 swamps, a mountain, and a plains. So get out a calculator. Well, first, I guess we have 50% blue. So if we go 2, 3, 4, 5, add that to the 12, so that's 17 lands. We probably want about 8 islands total. Okay, so that leaves 9. This is almost in thirds. Probably do 4 planes. No, 3, 3, 3, 3, I guess. So 3, 3. Oh crap. Oh crap. What did I just delete? What did I just delete? No. No. What did I delete? It's gonna be a land. Starts with P. Oh, God dang it. I genuinely don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. I'll look back at the footage and figure out what that was, but you all saw it. I don't remember what it was. So we're gonna go ahead and name this deck Breya's Machinations. That is subject to change, but yeah. Breya's Machinations. Okay. We are at probably around 30 minutes. So let's quickly run through Locus of Creation. Let me get Breya off of the desk and get Omnath in front of me. So it's gonna be a bit of a longer Monday video, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to be streaming this kind of thing start to finish, so Omnath. Okay, so we start with Commander's Sphere. That's gonna be a Plains. It's an island. I have these in a weird order. I think that's Plains. That's an island. Island, thank you. This needs to be that. Okay. Yeah, forest. I think this one I may or may not have the lands all worked out. Mountain. Okay. Some other island. Mountain. Another forest. Why are these not organized? Yeah, I think I might have the basic land base. I might have the whole land base figured out for this, actually. Which means that we get to do the more interesting part of brewing a deck with all the non-creatures. Or not all the non-lands. We have another plains. I did not organize these, did I? I said I was going to, and then I didn't. Isn't that funny how human brain works? And by that I mean it doesn't work. These are more art lands from Sheepwave. These are her pixel art lands. I ordered a bunch of pixel art lands from her for my Mario and Luigi deck, because I wanted that deck to be kitted out with pixel art lands, and then whatever I had left over, because she was kind enough to send me extras, I went put into Omnath. So that's why these are here. So we have 3 more mountains, 2, 3, 4 islands, 2 plains, 3 forests. We'll see how that mana distribution works out later on. Counting that as a spell, it's a modal card. So, this card is in German. Amazing. Okay. Okay. It's from Dominaria. Sit. Dominaria. It is a land. That should narrow it down. There it is. Clifftop Retreat. Jungle Shrine. Command Tower. Now I think since this is a landfall deck, it's gonna have like 40 lands in it. And I think I might have already worked that out. It's been a hot minute since I've even looked at these decks, so I don't actually know. Boros, Garrison, thank you. Selesnya Sanctuary, Cruel Turf, Volcanic Island, another proxy. I'm not rich. It's just fake. And then we have more of the fetch lands. Because I prioritized Omnath when the fetch lands are from Sheepwave. She gave me 6 or 7 of them. And I prioritized Omnath and then put whatever was left into Breya. So we have Boros 1. Where is that? Arid Mesa. Pay life. Look for a mountain. Yes. The Selesnya one. Windswept Heath. Gruel one. Wooded Foothills. And the Izzet one. Scalding Tarn. Sorry, was that Scalding Tongs? Ah, I thought it was going to be an unset card where it was like a chef with cooking tongs. Okay. Now we're into the non-lands. Scatter to the winds. I should actually talk about these. We're also Root Grazer. I can put a basic land. I can tap it to put a basic land from my hand onto the field, or return a basic land I control to my hand. So this effect lets me repeat landfall triggers, but only if need be. I feel like if I have lands in my hand already, I don't want to be using this ability. Or maybe I do, I don't know. It has Vigilance, so you can swing with it and still use its ability on other people's turns. Scattered to the Winds has counter target spell, and you can awaken it, so you can put 3+1/+1 counters on a land you control, and it becomes an elemental. If you pay the extra cost, it's kind of neat. It's really it. It's just a neat counter spell. Area Shepherd. Landfall whenever land enters under your control. And return target non-land permanent from your graveyard to your hand. That land is a plains. You may return. Oh, that land is plains. You may return that non-land permanent card to the battlefield instead. I was like, non-land plains? Excuse me? We have Wave Wing, Elemental. When it enters the battlefield, it gets. When a land enters, it gets +2/+2 for the turn. Some of these might be subject to change. Some of these are really good though. Like Trove Warden comes out of one of the commander precons. Trove Warden, landfall when it enters, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard, which can include lands if you so choose. When it dies, put each permanent exiled with it onto the battlefield under that card, under the control of that card's owner, which is a weird wording. This has caused people to speculate that Wizards may be planning on adding a card or effect in the game that puts someone else's cards into your grave. It's weird, but otherwise, why wouldn't it just say put those under the battlefield under your control, because it's your grave. But anyways, this card is just great because you can exile all the lands from your grave gradually, and other stuff if you so choose. And then when it dies, you just get it all back, and it triggers landfall for all those lands that you recur. Brushfire Elemental, that's the art that I have, it's pretty. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Landfall, whenever a land enters under your control, it gets +2/+2 for the turn. Pretty straightforward. Far Wanderings. Search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. 7 or more cards on your grave, instead search your library for up to 3 basic lands. We have Harrow. You sack a land. That is Harrowing Journey. Harrow. Sack a land. Search for up to 2 lands. Put them onto the field. Untapped. Call Me Heart Expedition. Landfall. You put a quest counter on it. Remove 3 quest counters. Sack it. Search for up to 2 basics. Kodama's Reach. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, put them on the battlefield. It grabs you cards, grabs you lands. Spring Bloom Dude. When it enters, you can sack a land. It basically does what Harrow does. Yavimaya Elder. When it dies, you can search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Zendkar's Royal makes a 2/2 as a landfall trigger. Geode Rager is an elemental. Whenever a land enters under your control, goad each creature target player controls, which means that the next turn that they attack, they have to attack, and they have to attack someone other than you and other than planeswalkers you control. Do I have... I put 2 copies of this in here. I will be removing one. That's a tad annoying. I made that mistake. It's fine though. It's not the end of the world. The Mending of Dominaria. Mill 2 cards, then you may return a creature card from your grave to your hand. Turn all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is really good for this deck. Multani Yavimaya's Avatar. It's +1/+1 for each land you control and each land in your grave. 1 out of green, return 2 lands you control to your hand, and then return Multani from your grave to your hand. So you can recur you can recur Multani by bouncing lands to your hand. And that would be a downside in any deck that did not revolve around landfall, so replaying those lands is what you want. Anyways, this is Renewal. Search for up to 3 basics, put them onto the field tapped, shuffle your library, gain 7 life. Rampaging Baloths, a classic landfall card, you make a 4/4. Rites of Flourishing. At the beginning of each player's draw step, they draw an additional card, they can play an additional land on each turn. If you're... sorry about that thump. If your play group is smart, they'll let you keep this, because it helps them too. But it helps you slightly more, so maybe they won't, hopefully they won't notice, but they might. They might, actually. Sylvan Advocate. As long as you control 6 or more lands, it and all land creatures you control get +2/+2. Mina and Den, Wildborn. You can play an additional land on each turn, and you can return a land to its owner's hand and give a creature trample. Seer's Sundial. Hold on. Throat's dry today. God, okay. Whenever a land enters under your control, you can pay 2 and draw a card. Very handy. Ground Assault. Deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. We have Struggle to Survive, which you can't see here. Struggle deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. And you're going to tell me it's Aftermath. Each player shuffles their graveyard into their library. We have Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Scare Tiller. You put a land from your hand onto the field. You can return a land from your grave to the battlefield. We have Obun, the Precon Commander. How do you get that full? That's extended art. How do you get that? Excuse me? That's really cool. Huh. Beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target land you control becomes an XX Elemental. Rex is Obun's power. Landfall, you put a counter on him. We also have Dryad Arbor, which I got from a set booster from the list. It's a land creature, the only one. Roiling Regrowth. Sack a land, grab up 2 basics, and put them on the battlefield. Cinderblade. Oh, it's another land. It's a dual land. It's a mountain forest. Balaged Recovery. Turn target card from your graveyard to your hand, or you can play it as a tapped forest, or a tapped green land, whatever. Okay, so we have 30 more cards that we can add, and we might actually be good on lands. So new cards, I do have these 3. They're just in other decks, but I can borrow them. They're very good. We can also borrow from my Golos deck Ramunap, Excavator, and Crucible of Worlds. I don't know if I've mentioned it on a recording before, but I share cards between decks. I have a couple of small boxes that hold all of the cards that are shared between decks. And whenever I want to play a deck, I have a Google Doc with all my lists and all of the shared cards highlighted, so I can go through and add all the cards that I need. And those cards are inside perfect fit sleeves that have a tiny piece of tape on the perfect fit sleeve, so that when I'm done playing the deck, I can pick out all the cards that were shared very easily by seeing the tape, and then I just pull it out of its sleeve and put it back in the boxes. So it's a method of saving money, because I would not want to buy a second Crucible of Worlds, but with this system I don't have to. I can just use the same one for multiple decks and save money. Same with Ancient Green Warden, because that's 13 bucks. Hull Breacher, we're probably... do we want that? I don't think we care about Hull Breacher, honestly. I think AC is really good, so maybe we'll just take a Simic Guildgate. Do Simic Guildmage and we'll put it in the sideboard, just to, as a placeholder. One that I just remembered, we want Tatiova. We want Avenger of Zendikar. How many elementals are in here? Not really enough for me to care. Is Omnath still an elemental? He is still an elemental. I'll do Risen Reef. Sure. Oh yeah, Omnath Locus of Rage would be good. Lotus Cobra, I know I have one of those. Produces land. I think I have an Azusa. Yeah. Already got Avenger. Screw it, let's run all the Omnaths. I don't have Locus of Mana yet, and honestly it wouldn't matter. I would not care, I don't think. Yeah, I think I just want landfall creatures for the most part. I think I might have an exploration, actually. I might have an exploration. I already have a Harrow, Risen Reef, Tatiova. Ooh. Growth Spiral is good. Moraug, I have a copy of that. Probably want Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Cultivate. Yes. Farseek. Some good ramp. Swords to Plowshares, because why not? We do not have enough money for Oracle of Moldiah. Sakura Tribe Elder. Oh yeah, that's a leftover from the Mario deck tech. When I swapped out card arts for some of the Mario cards. Those are expensive. We want Phylath. That's good. Do I have a Wayward Swordtooth? I don't know. I do have an Ashaya, actually. Ooh, new Kodama. Yes, new Kodama. Kodama of the East Tree. Oh, it's not here yet. We'll do a forest. And we're going to make it a placeholder. So I believe 7 more cards? Yes, 7 more cards. 7 more? No, that's 3. 6 more. 6 more. I do have a copy of Uro, but do I really care to run it? We'll do Spitfire Lagak. I do have a copy of that. Lagak. What else is in here? actually know what else I want in here. Probably some more removal, maybe? Beast. No, not Neast. Beast Within. Frozen Grip. I like Generous Gift. Fierce Guardianship, which I do have a copy of. Is that it? No, we have one more. Room for one more. Do I not have Hiri's lithoforming? I want it. I better put it in here. Okay, I think that's a good deck build. So with Nahiri's lithoforming, sack X lands, which for each land sacrifice, draw a card. You can play X additional lands this turn. What's cool about this card is if you combine it with Ancient Green Warden, where is it? Ramanap, or Crucible of Worlds, then as soon as you sack those lands, you can suddenly play that many additional lands that turn, and sure they enter tapped, but with any of those three cards, you can play lands from the grave. You just replay them, and you get all of those landfall triggers again. This is so good. Oh, you know what's a card that I forgot to include? Oh god. I'm gonna take out Spitfire. Like, well, what am I removing now? You'll see why I want this card once you see it. They got Beast Within. Maybe that's a bad play, but I want Panharmonicon. Oh, never mind. That's why. That's why. It doesn't deal with lands. It only deals with artifacts or creatures. God. I can't wait for 5-color Omnath, when we can run every single Omnath with Yarok. The only thing preventing Yarok from joining the fun is the fact that Yarok has black mana. If Yarok didn't have black mana, he would have joined by now. Like, if I could run him, he would be an auto-include. For sure. Oh well, that is the brew for that deck. Which means we've come to the end of this dear video. It has been a long one. Don't mind the noises. It's just me moving stuff around on my desk. So I hope you enjoyed this. I do plan on streaming deck builds next month. I'll come up with a snappy name later. As a part of my streams next month, I want to stream deck building, deck brewing. What are some... Hold on. I shouldn't pull up Card Kingdom on recording, then you would see some of my info. So if I pull up Card Kingdom, there are some commanders I'm going to be building around that I'm not going to brew until I stream it. And when I stream, I will be taking input from the audience. I don't know how many people will show up. Probably a couple people from Twitter. But if some people from YouTube show up as well, that would be sweet. Follow my Twitter, by the way. It'll be in the description of the video. Mine and Tyler's. Not just me. Tyler too. And we'll be announcing when we stream. It's just going to be whenever we have time off work. The same week that one of our videos goes up. So like, people don't actually know the editing process, so that doesn't matter. So, the decks I want to be building around. Can I pull them up? Are they on Scryfall, I wonder? Brynlin. Yes. So we're going to be building Brynlin. Brynlin and Kodama of the East Tree. This is going to be a Simic partner deck that is going to be Simic Krakens. Because with Kodama, you play a Kraken, then you can play a slightly smaller Kraken, if you so choose, for free. Oh, I just realized Brynlin's on Zendikar with the Hedrons. The Moon Kraken. Oh, I just love Moon Kraken. So that's the first deck that I'm going to be building next month. The next deck is going to be Falthus and Kedis. So Falthus and Kedis. Did I not order a Kedis? I did order a Kedis. Okay. So Falthus and Kedis. This is going to be Rakdos Ankle Biters. I want it to be small creatures that small creatures and Anthem effects that boost these two. I don't want to do Voltron. I have too much Voltron already. So we're going to do Anthems instead of Equips. Then we also have... What is Kangi? Oh yeah, Kangi. Kangi is going to be the new commander to my Pauper Furries deck. But that's not a deck that I'm brewing. We also have Zedru that I want to brew. The Commander Legends Zedru. That's you gift terrible cards to your opponents and then they have to deal with it. And for now, that's all I have planned. I ordered a copy of Aesior because I love Aesior. He's adorable. But I don't know what partner he would be with. Yeah, he protects your commanders by making spells that target him cost more. I'm thinking Aesior will get a partner from an older set. I think maybe a 2-color partner. Let me see. Text partner. It's a color combo I haven't done yet. Blue. I think I've done most color combos with blue. Be another Simic deck. Be another... Huh. I can do Esper. What do you do? Other creatures you control get +1/+1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature from your grave to your hand. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Maybe if I have time on stream, we can brainstorm ideas for who Aesior would be with. But in the meantime, it's going to be these 2 decks and Zedru. So if you want to catch that, keep an eye on Twitter next month. We will be streaming throughout December. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment down below letting us know what you think. And think about subscribing and hitting that little bell, doing all the things. Anyways, y'all have a great day.